watching or listening, but thank God it's Friday for so many of us. This is the Sportsline Podcast here on the CHCH and Parrot multimedia platform. Hey, what's up? I'm Bubba O'Neil. Well, as many of you know, sports in Southern Ontario is our focus, and friends, it is hard to argue that this region, we've developed many outstanding athletes, teams, and executives. Today, an undefeated local prize fighter from a well-known family who's all about the truth.
Wherever Wilcox goes is following, and he's just walking into punches.
There you go.
And Wilcox trying to set up the beginning of the end here. Shot to the body, and White, does he go down? No! And they're going to wave this fight off! Bradley Wilcox, the truth shall set you free, as he is now the IBC welterweight champion.
Well, Steeltown loves its combat sports, and we are so excited to welcome this fighter who carries a record of 13-0 with 7 wins by way of knockout. Let's welcome Bradley, the Truth Wilcox, to the Sportsline Podcast. How are you, partner?
I'm good. How are you?
I saw a smile on your face when you saw that highlight there.
Yeah, that was definitely a really good moment in my career so far, and hopefully we're going to have more. It brought back a lot of memories.
I have to ask you, though, the truth, what's that all about?
So me and my brothers growing up, for those who don't know, I got 5 brothers, and our gym is very close. There's a guy named Josh O'Reilly who kind of gave me and all my brothers all of our nicknames. There's Steven the Piranha, Jesse the Rock, and there was always a meaning behind them. I was actually growing up, I think I was about 13 years old, and I was fighting my best friend at the time, Greg Young, and it was a flip of a coin on who's going to win the fight. And then Josh came up to me and said, "They don't know the truth." And then it just kind of stuck ever since. So
I love it. It's actually really, like, it's a strong name. I really, really like it. Hey, you're back in the ring for the first time since December. You got a big fight coming up in Oakville at the OE Banquet and Hall on, I guess that was just on Spears Road. And you haven't fought in a long time. What brings you back to the ring?
So back in my fight in December, obviously people know with these kind of sports, there's injuries. So I had a little minor injury, and then after, when I thought my hand was getting better, my wife had a baby, Robert Wilcox, and then after that, it just kind of takes time to get back into it, getting back in the groove. And then United Boxing Promotions, who's my promoter, they put on fights pretty frequently, like usually once a month or once every other month. And he's always asking me, "Brad, when do you want to go in the ring? When do you want to go in the ring?" And then the opportunity came. I kind of gave it 2 or 3 months after my son was born. And then I said, "Okay, I'm ready." And then from there, he said, "Do you want to headline the October 3rd show?"
Ooh, yeah, because the rest of them are amateur fights, and you're the one pro. So it all happens, as I said, in Oakville, October the 3rd, and you are fighting a fella that is undefeated out of Calgary. Here's the poster here that I know you're so very familiar with. A little bit about how you feel you are ready to keep fighting.
So it's one of those things that I've been boxing since I was 8 years old, and actually after COVID, my dad kind of said, why do you want to box? Because I do have a job with the city of Hamilton in the roadway maintenance program as a technical inspector. And my dad kind of, when I said I wanted to get back in, after everybody realized that COVID wasn't stopping it and boxing continued, my dad kind of said, "Are you sure you want to do it? Why do you need it?" And I said, I just kind of got to see it through. I want to do it for a little bit more and see what we can do in this short time.
And full knowing that you've been in the ring before, as I said, you come from a famous fighting family. It's a lot of commitment to get ready for a fight, is it not? How much is it adjust? I mean, obviously, like you said, you've got kind of a life outside of the ring. What kind of adjustments do you have to make to prepare yourself to be in a fight? And I'm sure no one steps in the ring to lose.
No.
But to get yourself mentally and physically focused.
I think a big thing comes from the support. My family's very supportive, whether it's like, I think I can show up anytime at the gym, and there's usually somebody at the gym that'll watch my kids, like, or let alone my daughter who's 4 years old. Now she started school, so she's actually not with me anymore when I go to the gym to train. But usually there's somebody at the gym. Like, for instance, yesterday I was working out, and my wife wanted to do a little workout, so I just kind of went upstairs, I put down the mat, and I just kind of threw my 4-month baby on the ground, and he just kind of was just hanging out, like watching me hit the bag and doing my exercises. And it's in our blood. It's a family thing. So
she was going, Daddy's real strong.
Yeah.
In that bag real hard. We talk about the family. Mama, of course, Papa Bob, and then there's Steven, Jesse, yourself, Sheldon, Spencer, and then there's Robbie as well, too, that I think a lot of people don't know about Robbie and what Robbie means to you. And obviously we're not lucky to have Robbie with us any longer. There's an inspiration there. And what's the tie-in with Wayne Gretzky?
So growing up, my full name is Bradley Wayne Wilcox. So what happened was my brother got diagnosed with cancer at a young age, and might get a little emotional, but so what happened was he got to meet Wayne Gretzky. He got to meet him for a couple days, and then Wayne Gretzky said, meeting me isn't a wish, and I want to kind of, I'll help with the expenses of a wish for my brother. And then my brother said, I want to have a baby sister. Mm-hmm. And obviously my parents, that's out of their control. Mm-hmm. And then I was born. So that my godfather's name's Brad. And then my brother got to name me before he passed away. So my brother named me Brad. And then my middle name Wayne, because he got to meet Wayne Gretzky. Mm-hmm. So my middle name is Bradley Wayne Gretzky. Mm-hmm. Well, not Bradley Wayne Gretzky.
Not Gretzky.
That's how I grew up. I grew up telling people that's how it was. It's Bradley Wayne Wilcox.
Okay.
But that being said, just recently I got together with like my family, and we kind of opened up a Robbie Wilcox Foundation under his name, where we just help like kids in need and anything. So
spectacular. There's nothing like giving back, and I guess that's the walk-in uniform, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually the one that I got made when all COVID happened, and I said, I seen somebody do they had a Cavaliers one, mm-hmm. and I said, that would be awesome if I could get a crest made. And and at the time when my brother got to meet Gretzky, he was on LA Kings, mm-hmm. so I kind of edited the image a bit. I got my one friend to edit it, and then I kind of made a crest.
It's a good looking crest.
And then I got that outfit made, and it was...
I think that's special. I mean, at least from my perspective, at least what I'm hearing, no matter where you go, Robbie's always with you.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Like I said, you have this unbelievable family that this boxing, it's just part of all of you. What's it like for you? Because, I've had your brother on this podcast,
yes.
too, and I got his perspective. What was it like growing up in your household?
I'm probably going to say the same thing, that a little bit the same as Spencer, but Spencer got to view it from the youngest child, and I got to view it from the middle. So growing up, I actually, out of all my brothers, I wanted to proceed with hockey. Hockey, I was obsessed with hockey. I loved hockey. And like everybody, I wanted to make the NHL, and I thought, this is going to be awesome. And then I just got sick and tired of the blaming the goalie, blaming this player, blaming this, blaming that. And then I really started to focus on boxing. That being said, at the time, my dad still had the gym, and everybody thinks, I would have been a lot of people think if they had a family like mine that they would have been pushed to go to the gym and pushed to train. But there's not one time where my dad really ever pushed us to go to the gym. It was one of those things where at the time we were in East Hamilton, like we were across from the General Hospital. That's where our gym was. And we lived up the mountain on Gage and Rymel. So my dad would come home from a long day's work, and he would just say, boys, we're going to the gym. And we'd all just squeeze in the car. Mm-hmm. If you didn't want to go, you didn't go. Like, everybody always thinks that we were pushed into it, but we actually weren't.
Well, and I guess, I guess it's natural to kind of look up to our older siblings. And the fact that you had older siblings in the ring, and I guess, turned professional before you did. Was that motivating for you?
Yeah, it was definitely really motivating. It definitely made it a lot easier. Obviously, Steven, being the oldest brother, he had to go through all the bumps in the roads and go through all the hardships and trying to like kind of set that stone for us. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
The best part about it is that you learn from those experiences, and you've put yourself in a situation where you've tasted it a little bit. Like you said, you're going to get back into it a little bit really soon. But what I'm learning about each one of you guys is that you're all your own different men, and you have your own different style. And as you know, like you said, we talked about, we had Spencer on earlier, and he described you on what he thought your style was all about and what you did for him. Let's have a listen.
You don't want to get hit by him too clean because it don't feel too nice, and I don't think the legs like it too much.
Not when you're looking up, too.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So he really, without him knowing, I think he really distilled discipline in my sparring sessions with him, because you don't want to slip up because it hurts.
It hurts. Was he telling the truth?
I guess he was. Obviously, I've never been hit by myself, but from what I hear from people, yeah, and that's one thing that I had a lot of focus this camp was Spencer was really hard on me with it, is that I try too hard to punch hard. Mm-hmm. When I have it naturally, I just got to punch. Mm-hmm. And if I punch, the power's there. Mm-hmm. So from their view, I see it, but obviously when you get in there, it's a little different. You kind of.
But it's good that you have your brother of all people telling you this.
Yeah.
Like that's the amazing thing.
Yeah, and the good thing about having the brothers is they really don't care how I feel. They don't, right? Like, because either way, I'm gonna love them. Like, I've gone through. I've been with a lot of coaches. I've seen a lot, and a lot of coaches have worked with me, and it's always like they kind of ask, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" Where whenever I ask my brothers to help, it doesn't matter what I want to do. Mm-hmm. It's more or less what they think I need.
Right.
Which is kind of what a lot of people say I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. I'm more of the like business side of my brothers, and they can probably vouch for that. But so that being said, having them, like, we all keep each other neutral. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like,
it's real love though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hard, but real love.
Yep.
You got to appreciate that. I'm going to give you an opportunity. And Spencer's done so well. I mean, the stuff out in Saudi, he had a tough fight there, but I mean, on the way up, I think it's just beginning for him as well, too. I'm sure you feel the same thing. And I was able to watch those fights, and I thought he represented himself very, very well, getting as far as he did. I'm going to give you the opportunity to just, as he described you, what do you think about him as a boxer?
As a boxer, he's a fly. He's very frustrating to spar with. Obviously, it's a little different because we've sparred with each other our entire lives. We've worked with each other, so I'm sure he knows what pisses me off, and I know what pisses him off. So we kind of go at it. Obviously, now he's a lot older now, so his punches sting a little bit more than when I used to let him just work. Mm-hmm. But that being said, he's very driven. He can see what people are doing. He's very precise when he punches. Like, he's got very good accuracy. He doesn't just punch to punch. Mm-hmm. And his volume is something that a lot of people can't handle. His volume of punching, he may not have the punching power, but I would consider him like a little bit of a mix of Jesse and Steven, mm-hmm. because Spencer likes to keep his distance. And for those who know Jesse's very long, 6'2", and he used to fight at 147. And then Steven, he may not be the biggest puncher, but you're definitely leaving there with black eyes and stuff like that, like all beat up. Mm-hmm. So Steven may not have had the power, where Spencer, I think, gets a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm. Is he a little bit bigger than you in terms of weight class?
Who?
Spencer.
No, Spencer's actually one below. Spencer's at 140, yeah.
Okay, and you are at?
I'm fighting 147.
You'll be 147. Okay, that's interesting. Any legends? Like, was there anyone that what you sort of maybe took a little bit from in terms of some of the legendary boxers? There's so many out there that maybe that when you were growing up that you were like, I kind of want to be like this guy, or I really admire this guy.
Not really. I kind of just kept with the family. Like I've always like looked up to my older brothers with in the boxing game. Because one thing that really opened up my eyes was when we train so hard and we go and then we spar and stuff, and then when we finally get to when my dad gives us those opportunities to go to Vegas to see these big shows, and when you actually walk beside all these like big professional names, I'm not saying I could beat them, but we're so close. Like they just have that little edge. They might have had better opportunities and stuff like that. But but Spencer himself always said that I fought like Shane Mosley. And
It's good. It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
That's Spencer always thought I fought like him. So I've watched that a couple times, but other than that, no, not really. I just kind of do my own thing.
Well, you talk about the importance of family, and of course, you talked about, which I thought was really kind of cool, that your dad, because it would be really easy to have 5 sons and push them real hard to be all boxers. But when you do get in the ring, and does he still work with you? How does he get you ready for fights? Because he's obviously a master of the ring.
Yeah. So Spencer finishing school and stuff like that, and he's chasing his boxing dream. I kind of took the different approach, and I kind of went to school. I went to Mohawk College and I got my education, and I got very lucky. I got in with the city at a young age as a garbage man to start, and then I got into the water department, and then I'm where I am today. So I kind of took the career route, the family route, and stuff like that, and I've always tried to balance both. So by doing that, I just couldn't go to Vegas. I couldn't go to Montreal. I couldn't do these big training camps. Obviously, if something big comes, maybe we might have to make sacrifices, but I always said to my dad, like, I think we can do it right here. And even my dad, just with our support, like, for instance, this morning I trained with Dante, one of our coaches from the gym. He does like strength and conditioning. He does personals and stuff. So we always have the support. I just couldn't leave work.
Obviously,
for that amount
real
of
life.
time.
You got
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, now I
people in
got
your life
kids.
now, right? You got people in your life now. That's totally understandable. But when he works with you, though, like, I mean, and it's funny because he must recognize the greatness in each one of you guys in terms of how to get you better. And obviously, as you get so close to a fight right now, that's got to be really cool because, as you said, he's going to be real with you.
Yeah. So when I'm working with my dad, obviously, when we're doing more of the technical stuff, he harps on kind of what I was saying that my brothers were saying. Why are you trying so hard to punch? Like, you got the natural strength. You don't need to punch. So my dad kind of sits back and he like looks at what we need. Like, even if I'm doing pads with someone else, my dad will be sitting there watching and kind of picking up what I need. If I'm feeling that my arms are getting tired, he's always trying to think about game plans and strategies to like make so my arms aren't sore, so like stuff like that. So
that, I think it's so cool to have a family like that and to see that so many. Actually, if you take the records of all of you guys have done pretty well. If you put them all together, like there wasn't like one that seemed to struggle. All you guys have great records. You've had multiple fights. Am I correct in saying your amateur fight number was around 130, 135?
Yeah.
That's a lot of fights.
Yeah. I think I had about 135 amateur fights. I think Jesse had about 165. And I think Steven might have had the most. Steven or Jesse had the most, but they're up there. And then Spencer, I think, had
multiple
like
provincial and national championships too.
Yeah. Right? I think I won 5. I'm pretty sure Spencer won 4. Steven won 3, and Jesse always had Jesse was on the B team, like the national team, for like 5 years in a row. And yeah, so and Sheldon, I think Sheldon won 3 times. He's the one just below me. Got 2 above me, 2 below me.
Very impressive. Obviously, part of a fight like you're coming into is studying your opponent. A little bit about your opponent.
I think he's definitely not going to underestimate me. I think from the videos that we've watched, he's got like a low. He's like more flashy. Mm-hmm. But I was talking with my brothers and stuff like that, and I really think, like, as flashy as he is, if we could get his respect right away, he might not be able to do that. Mm-hmm. So I do have respect for him, but I just think we're going to get to him.
And I think that's what, for anyone that's going to see the fight, it's 2 undefeated boxers going into the ring.
Yeah.
And I think that's any time you're in a situation where there's 2. You talked about your ability. You want to punch. Can you just sort of brag about yourself a little bit? I mean, and I mean this in the most respectful way, about what you think the strengths of your game are.
I don't know. I don't really like to brag, but ever since I was younger, I was it's always a conversation that people bring up to fire up me and my brothers, and they always ask who's the most athletic, like who's the most athletic, and they know I was probably more explosive, more probably naturally gifted, and but that being said, when I was in grade 6, instead of doing what most kids do, I was in the sport academy in Hamilton. I was training at McMaster twice a week, while everybody else is doing gym class. Like, so I don't know. I think I can be explosive, fast. And that's one thing that I got to work on. I got to believe that I'm just as fast as these guys, not that I just have power. And I just got to let my hands
Right hand
go.
power, left hand power?
Right hand and left hand.
That's what I wanted to hear. The best thing about boxing to me, and you seem like a pretty straight guy, right? But as you will know, and I'm glad you brought that up about McNaughton, that, you know, he's a little flashy. But there is a bit of showmanship to the sport of boxing, and I'm going to bring up a couple of things, and you can just tell me about your feelings and what your approach is. First things first. Your mindset in the walk-in, just to walk into the ring. Where are you?
In the walk-in, like a lot of the walk-ins, I get really emotional when I start to see like my family and stuff like that, because you know it's dangerous going in there. And then once I get in the ring bouncing around, I get pretty excited. Then I get excited, and in my head, like I was saying to my dad, like when we're training and we're sparring and stuff like that, and they're always rotating people in on who you're working with, it's different. But when they're trapped in there with you for 10 rounds, you can break them down. You can have fun with it. Like nothing needs to happen right away.
Right.
So I get super excited when I'm.
I always remember George Foreman saying that one of the things that he feared was the stare down. And as you well know, George Foreman, heavyweight fighter, kind of had 2 different careers. But he said that what he would do is he knew he could never look down, because if he ever got caught looking down during a stare down, he thought his opponent would say, "I got you mentally." When the referee brings you guys together and he's giving those instructions and you are staring each other in the eye, again, where's your mindset?
Well, I hope at the levels that we're at, it doesn't really matter if you look down. It doesn't matter if you look away. We've seen it all. That comes with the 135 amateur fights. That comes with the 13 other pro fights I've had. That experience shouldn't let that kind of stuff bug me. Like whether he looks down or not could be a game plan for him to say to me, like for me to think that he's weak. So to me, it's just
this would never, any stare down and smile, it would never intimidate you.
No, we've seen it all. I was using an example when we have kids come to the gym. Me and my family, we went once when I was younger. I think I was about 13 years old. It's one of the experiences that I always explain to people. 13 years old, going in the ring in Rochester, and as we're going to the ring, actually one of my best friends, James Kilby, he fought literally 3 fights before me. We're going in the ring. I hear people booing him. We're like 12 years old. They're booing him they were throwing stuff at him. Like, it was pretty intense for being 12 years old, and people are doing that because it was pretty serious. We were in Rochester at like Aquinas Boys and Girls Club, and then it was my turn. So, and my friend just got stopped. So of course I'm super excited or super nervous. And then as soon as I go in, it sounded like people were spitting, like people were booing, spitting, and I'm like thinking, man, we're only 12 years old.
Wow. So
just what I think a lot, like just the experience of being through that already, like I don't, like if somebody wants to get in my face, I really don't care. Like him getting in my face isn't going to stop me from punching him.
Jeez. See, here's a guy I'll just think of. You think of all our local boxers here. Off camera, I had Ryan Rozuki. I said, give me the stare down. I thought I was going to run away.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary dude.
He's a pretty tough dude, man. Okay, last thing. Because you have had 7 wins of your 13 wins by knockout, and we saw one of them there in a TKO situation, when you drop a guy, where's your head? What's your feeling there when you see I mean, it is the object is to win, but when you win by knockout, that feeling.
Well, the idea is to get to the neutral corner as soon as you can, so the count like officially starts. Right away, I know people get excited and you want to look at the crowd and stuff, but right away I either try to look for my brothers or my dad, just for advice, just to calm me down. But yeah, that's usually what I'll do.
It's just a natural excitement.
Yeah, you just get super.
Sorry, before you when you're loading up and you hit flush and like, do you know?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this. This punch is going to knock you out.
Yeah, like I think it was 2 fights ago. I was fighting a guy. He was like a last-second replacement, and he was moving around, but I was catching him with the odd right hand. And I think I went back to the corner and I said to my dad, I said, I'm feeling like the connection. Like, there's no way he's taking this for 8 rounds. He can take it for 1, 2, 3, but for 8 rounds, you're not. And then sure enough, I felt it connect, and then I don't think he wanted to fight anymore.
Good job.
Yeah.
One last thing here. And we talked about it, and it's kind of been threaded throughout the entire conversation. There are some important people in your life.
Yeah.
And I saw this video, and I just thought it was wonderful. Just what's this, Salvo? What does this mean to you?
Well, to me, it means a lot. Just being able to have the support of my daughter, actually like enjoying being in there.
Like,
and it gets me emotional.
She's looking up to Daddy right now.
Yeah.
And I think this is so good. And you're doing your work. And then there's the little one right there too. Oh my God!
He's the newest one.
He has no clue what's going on, but one day you're going to show him that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be one of the most beautiful moments ever.
Yeah, I think it actually kind of upset me, her going to school, because she actually asked me who's going to train with you in the morning. That kind of got me a bit, but that's okay. I said, don't worry, Robert will take care of it. Robert will be there, because that's her concern. Obviously, she'll stay with me for the first 20 minutes, and then after that, she's zipping around the gym. But she's got her toys at the gym and stuff like that.
If she says she wanted to be a boxer, would you be okay with it?
I don't know. I obviously, it would be very hypocritical for me to say no.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't think her uncles would want it.
Okay.
And Grandma or Mimi and Papa, I don't think they would be too happy with it. But then again, we couldn't say no.
The women's boxing and the women's MMA right now is hot.
Yeah.
It's hot right now. So you just never know, because obviously you're going to leave some type of impression, your brothers, on your young ones as well too.
Like everything she does, like even just from that shadow boxing, that's all just from her watching. Like kids just watch.
There's pretty like, she's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and Spencer's hard on them with that. I guess that's when my mom's watching them. I guess Spencer's training them too. So
let's let everyone know out there, but what's going on. Let's get the details of thing to your next big fight.
October 3rd, Wilcox versus McNaughton. We'll see who the real truth is.
Does he call himself the truth too?
Yes, he does.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's ripping you off. You fought more than him. He's ripping you off.
That's okay. We'll see.
This has been outstanding. I'll tell you, of the Fighting Wilcox brothers, maybe I'll have all you in here eventually at some point. But until then, Brad, good luck to you in your fight. Hopefully I'm there ringside watching you. I can't wait to see what's going on. And wherever you go, and whatever, if this is your last fight or if it's 10 more or 20 more to go, or you going to get a bigger title, who knows what you're looking forward to. But I look forward to watching you, and congratulations for making Hamilton proud.
Thank you.
You guys out there internationally doing your thing, and fighting for your country as well too. You've done an amazing job, and say hi to your dad for me as well too.
I will, for sure. I'm actually going to see him now.
Right on. He's going to work you hard.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
That's the Sportsline Podcast for the day. And as you just seen and heard, we love talking sports. We love getting in the ring. Bang, bang, bang. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote, the Sportsline Podcast, you want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. And if you do have something to say, hey, we want to hear your comments. For the wonderful people that make the Sportsline Podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you soon.